Google's Gemini AI is a game changer. It's a powerful tool with incredible potential. Gemini can process information, generate content, and even write code. The possibilities seem endless. But with great power comes great responsibility, and unfortunately not everyone using Gemini has good intentions. The dark side of Gemini's potential is becoming increasingly clear. Nation-state actors are exploiting this cutting-edge technology. They're using it for malicious purposes. These aren't just petty crimes. We're talking about activities that could disrupt global stability. The threat is real and it's growing. We need to understand how these bad actors are weaponizing Gemini. We need to know their tactics. We need to expose their targets. Only then can we start to build defenses. The future of our digital world may depend on it. This isn't science fiction. This is happening right now. And the stakes couldn't be higher. Gemini is a global tool, and unfortunately that means it's vulnerable to exploitation from around the world. We're seeing a disturbing trend. Countries like Iran, China, North Korea, and Russia are increasingly using Gemini for malicious purposes. Their goals are clear: sow discord, steal information, and undermine their adversaries. Iran has been particularly aggressive in its use of Gemini. They're using it to target political enemies and spread disinformation. China is leveraging Gemini's power to spy on its own citizens and silence dissent. North Korea, always a rogue actor, is exploring Gemini's potential for cyber warfare. And Russia is using the technology to interfere in elections and sow chaos in the West. These countries are using Gemini to develop sophisticated malware. They're creating convincing phishing campaigns. They're even using it to generate fake news articles and social media posts. The goal is simple: to manipulate public opinion and undermine trust in democratic institutions. This isn't just a problem for governments to solve. This is a threat to all of us. We need to be aware of the dangers posed by these malicious actors. We need to be vigilant in protecting our data and our privacy. Let's look at some specific examples of how nation-states are weaponizing Gemini. Iranian APT groups are using Gemini to research vulnerabilities in critical infrastructure. They're crafting phishing emails designed to trick government officials into revealing sensitive information. Their targets include military personnel, diplomats, and even journalists. China is using Gemini to develop powerful surveillance tools. They're creating algorithms that can identify and track individuals based on their online activity. They're also using Gemini to censor information and control the flow of news within their borders. Their goal is to maintain their grip on power by silencing any form of dissent. North Korea is using Gemini to develop sophisticated hacking tools. They're targeting financial institutions, defense contractors, and even cryptocurrency exchanges. Their goal is simple: to steal money and fund their illicit activities. They're also exploring Gemini's potential for disrupting critical infrastructure, such as power grids and communication networks. These are just a few examples of the many ways that nation-states are exploiting Gemini. The threat is real, it's evolving, and it's growing more sophisticated by the day. We need to be prepared to defend ourselves against this new wave of AI-powered attacks. The bad news is that the threat from nation-state actors is constantly evolving. As Gemini and other AI technologies become more powerful, so too will the threats they pose. We need to be prepared for a future where AI is used to launch even more sophisticated and damaging attacks. The good news is that there are things we can do to protect ourselves. Tech companies need to continue to invest in security measures to make it more difficult for malicious actors to exploit their platforms. Governments need to work together to share information and coordinate their responses to these threats. But perhaps most importantly, we as individuals need to be more aware of the risks posed by AI-powered attacks. We need to be careful about the information we share online. We need to be skeptical of suspicious emails and websites. And we need to stay informed about the latest threats. The future of our digital world depends on our ability to stay one step ahead of these threats. By working together, we can harness the power of AI for good and protect ourselves from those who would use it for evil.